Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. Surging, resplendent Arsenal, really a clean sheet producing work of art, 4 wins without conceding for the first time in 10 years going into this one. They arrived at that Castle Airy that is Turf Moor, place where Burnley had lost just once in 18 months. That was to Liverpool with the last kick of the game via a penalty. And God bless JJ Watt's Burnley. On their own 2-game winning streak, they opened up gamely, press, counter-press, 1-second balls. Arsenal simply rolled upfield off their very first corner. I think 14 minutes in, was it? Set piece again, ole. Declan Rice, pinpoint with that cross back post to his favourite target, Gabriel, who headed back, and it was Gyökeres who essentially dunked it in from close range. Ugly, can't miss finish, which is exactly why they brought him in, to do that and to do it now. Raw, bold decision for Burnley. Clearly hadn't watched any Arsenal match video from the past 2 seasons.
There comes a point where you can't really stop it, I think. I'm not sure attempt to counter the set-piece dominance in the Premier League, that teams are going to have to start thinking a little bit outside the box. But at this stage, I'm not sure, even a team like Burnley, who are pretty good at set-pieces themselves, ultimately, if Arsenal get the delivery right, if Rice whips it in, if Gabriel wins the first header, there's not much you can do to defend it. And as you say, Gyökeres is kind of there to snuffle balls in from a yard or two out. That's his job.
Snuffling.
Yeah, he's a snuffler. He's a goal snuffler.
Yes, goal snuffler. By the way, every ugly goal he scores this season, that is exactly what he was brought in to do. And it is magnificent because Arsenal now scored 8 goals in the league via corners this season, most ever by a team in their first 10 games of a Premier League campaign. You hear that, you can say, wow, 8 of 18 goals total. That's, it's a bit sad. It's not. I look at it more like how hard this unit must have trained together for that to become true, Raw. And it's a reflection of something even more admirable to me when I watch Arsenal Football Club. I love what Arteta's building. I admire it probably most greatly because for 3 seasons, all he's heard is bottler from haters. So to develop this, stick it in your face, down your throat, physicality dominant football in reaction to that is pretty tenacious.
It really is. It's testament to kind of his absolute determination to win, I think, and his willingness to persevere, to stick with what he thinks works. I don't know if this is the style of football that Arteta would claim to be kind of a prophet of, in the way that Guardiola, talks about juego de posición and stuff like that. I think Arteta is very much a winner whose interest is in winning. That's what Mikel Arteta cares about. He's crafted and shaped the style a little bit every season until he seems to have found something that works pretty much every time.
Burnley were rocked. Arsenal suddenly resurgent. Their players surging down either flank. Happy if they got a shot on goal. Probably even happier if they just earned a corner. Such was really the panic that each one caused for Dubravka and his back line. It was really desperate stuff for a long period. Burnley hacking off the line to prevent Arsenal from scoring. Actually a big boy goal from open play, but they had no answer in the 35th minute from a long throw. It was actually a Burnley long throw. Full field counter. This was stunning. Gyökeres with a crossfield ball that looked beautiful. I'm not sure he meant to find the scurrying Trossard. It didn't matter anyway. He centred, and Declan Rice in the middle with a header from further away, honestly, than I think I can throw the ball, Raw. Then dropped to his knees, dedicated a goal to his late Aunt Bev. It was really beautiful. And I watched it, just the team play, the connectivity, the spark. And I'm like, oh my God, it reminds me of when Big Blue beat a human at chess. If Arsenal have worked out how to score goals from open play, Raw, it's game over for us mere humans, right?
Yeah, I still think they need to do it a little bit more often, if I'm completely honest, Rog. I know that sounds a little bit like either clutching at straws or just deep-seated bitterness.
2 things can be true, Raw.
Maybe it's all true. I mean, everything I say is rooted in bitterness, obviously. But they are an extraordinarily good technical team, Arsenal. They are capable of playing any style of football that they want. I think, in a way, that's why the emphasis on set pieces has caused such a kerfuffle, maybe, that you sense that Arsenal could play a completely different way. If they wanted to be a counter-attacking team, they could be. If they wanted to dominate possession, they could do. If they wanted to cut teams open at will, they could do. And it feels a bit like they've made a choice. My sense is still that over the course of the season, they will hit a run where they don't score 8 goals off corners in 10 games. That will happen. We've said this before. It happened last year. Teams found ways to counteract it. And you want to see them scoring more open play goals, because that is ultimately a much more reliable way over the course of the year of breaking teams down. And I suppose what Declan Rice, who's gone a little bit under the radar in terms of how good his performances have been this season, he tends to be overshadowed a little bit by either, Zubimendi's new, or Odegaard, or Saka, or Gyökeres.
Or Eze.
He's not, Declan Rice isn't the big signing anymore. We know what he's capable of. We have normalised how good he is.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but you shouldn't lose sight of it. He has been the dominant midfielder in the Premier League so far this season. If they can score more goals like that on the counter-attack, it showcases to teams that not only can you not resist Arsenal set pieces, but if you attack them, you're kind of leaving yourself exposed.
Yeah, but what Arsenal are dedicating to themselves to, it's not the art of set pieces or open play goals. Here's what's incredible about this iteration of Arteta's Arsenal. They have not conceded a goal in 11 hours, 26 minutes of football. From that moment on, 2-0 down, Burnley you saw it. They were accepting of their fate. They were like, okay, game over. We are done. We are utterly done here. They will probably hope to get more out of West Ham on the road next weekend. This was a 5th consecutive Premier League win for the Gunners. They kept another clean sheet in the process. I don't think Burnley registered a shot on target. I mean, let alone scoring a goal. And I was kind of fascinated. Celebration police are always out for Arsenal Football Club more than any other club. When they win, people love to lose their minds at the way they react. And what's fascinating here, both when they scored the goals and then at the final whistle, everything just felt confident and almost muted. What was fascinating, it felt like the players expected to score and ultimately expected to win. No surprise, no big deal, just another step on what I hope is just an epic journey to glory.
Yeah, I think to an extent how hard this game had been overlooked a little bit in the build-up, because there was this expectation. Burnley newly promoted, Arsenal going for the title. Huge economic imbalance between the two, obviously. But Burnley are quite good. I've seen Burnley twice this season. I saw them beat Leeds and I saw them almost get a point against Manchester United. They are a good team. They have some good players. And they are a really effective side. They'll make a decent fist of staying up. If they go down, it will not be without a fight. It was a potential banana skin for Arsenal, I think. That there was genuine peril here. But one of the great triumphs of what Arteta has built, they can now mix it with physical teams. They're not afraid of that physical challenge, which, as you say, Rog, undermined Arsenal for so long that they would go to Stoke or to Burnley or to one of the kind of great outposts of the heartlands of the north, and they would be found wanting for their desire to fight and to struggle and to claw and to scrap. But Arsenal do all that stuff now. They do it better than everybody else. They can hurt you on set pieces. They can hurt you on the counter-attack. They will find their way through. They will pick a hole in your defence, no matter how well organised you are. And they don't concede goals. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe the difference is this season it feels like there's a swagger about Arsenal. There's a real confidence of, actually, we are the best team in this division. You should be worried about us. We don't have anything to prove. We know we can do this. We might have gone close 3 years in a row, but we know that this time it's right. And that is a really important quality to have.
It's really amazing. Humanly, it's amazing. To fail 3 times, to have the whole nation just bond together in laughing at you and then rise up. And, are we winners? I do. I watch them play football and they've almost removed that question mark. We are winners. They are 6 points clear. I'm so happy for Spike Lee. Above everybody. They have won their past 7 games in all competitions without conceding a goal. These are just incredible. Sunday also marked a century of games. This is amazing too. All competitions since they've conceded more than twice. If they keep a clean sheet at Slavia Prague on Tuesday, Arsenal will match a 122-year club record. It's remarkable days. Godspeed, Arsenal fans. You deserve it.